Welcome back to the Monmouth Moms podcast on this cold February day again. I'm getting a little sick of the winter. I'm not a big winter fan in general, but I know this winter has been mild, but it's still like I just feel like I think it's more about the darkness in the evening, just like getting tired of it being like dark so early and feeling like just that perception of like not like I don't really go out like in the evenings, like in
You
the
feel
summer.
like you need to be home on your couch.
You have to be home.
Right.
Like you can't be like doing like in the summer, even the spring, we bring the dogs for a walk. We'll go to the pool at night or whatever. Like we'll do stuff, and we'll go to the library and stuff. But and if there's like any kids activities, but for the most part, I feel like I need to be like preparing for bed.
I agree. It's like I'm not going to go to the grocery store because it's dark.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do laundry because it's dark.
Right.
So I totally agree.
Yeah.
You become like a hermit.
Yes.
But I don't mind the cold. Surprisingly, considering I own an ice cream truck, I don't mind the winter. I don't mind the winter at all. But thank God it's been mild, right? I mean, really.
It really has been mild.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, today we have Kathy Conte from the Best Day Ever Ice Cream Truck. Thank you so much for
Thanks for having
coming
me.
on as our guest today.
It's
I'm
exciting.
So excited to learn more about. We haven't had anyone from that owns a food truck before on the podcast.
No.
So, and I'm so interested to learn about the business because it's new and it's evolving and there's it's so popular and I just love to learn about how you got into it. So, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
But yes, I agree about the winter. It's, I don't know. It's just it's nice for a little bit, like up until like after Christmas, and then I'm just like
then you're done.
I just want spring.
Then you're done. Yeah.
I just want spring.
It'll be here before we know it, right?
It will.
And I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's so hot out. So it'll be here. It'll be here.
I know.
It'll be here.
And then the kids are home from school, and you're like, oh,
I know.
School.
I know.
Anyway, so thank you. So where are you from?
I'm from Oceanport. I'm originally from Middletown. I grew up in Middletown.
Did you go to like North or South?
I went to Middletown South.
Okay.
And I graduated in '85.
Okay.
So I'm up there, and then I moved. Most of my adult life has been in Oceanport. So that's where I raised my son. That's where I have all my friends. My mom friends and stuff. And we keep busy in the town doing community things and stuff. So I really like it there. It's a really nice environment.
So Oceanport do they have their own high school or no?
They don't. The kids go to Shore Regional.
Shore Regional,
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
And is it like part of Ocean or it's just like, is it a borough or it's a township?
Oceanport is a town, so it's not part of Ocean Township.
Gotcha.
So Ocean Township is, further down the highway. Yeah. So we go to Shore Regional.
Very nice.
Yeah.
The only time I know a little bit about Oceanport. I feel like of all the towns in Monmouth County, I don't know much. It's just that the racetrack is in Oceanport, right?
Yes, the racetrack is there.
Yeah. We went to the Blue Grotto over the summer, and then I didn't realize that underneath is like that whole like beer garden.
Yeah.
Which we had dinner at Blue Grotto, which is excellent, and then we afterwards went down to check it out, and my parents were with me, so we got a drink down there, and they have all this stuff to do for kids, and kids are running around. I was like, we should have you down here.
I know, it's nice down there, right?
It is. It's really cool.
They have the concerts. I live right there, so I could hear the concerts
that's
and
so
stuff.
Fun.
Yeah, so
that
really
evening
cool.
they were doing this 80s band, cover band, and they were all dressed up. My daughter she was 7 at the time. She was in her glory. She was getting their autographs. This is hysterical. And then they're playing cornhole, and I'm like, this is probably really bad parenting, but it was super fun.
No, that they all do that. All the parents bring their kids, and they hang out, and they all everybody knows everybody.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's really fun there.
Yeah,
it
and
is.
I love going to the track. I think it's fun.
The kids like it, and the adults like it, and it's entertaining and stuff.
Good, day out.
Yeah, it's been there forever too.
Yeah.
The racetrack. It's a big draw for the town.
Yeah.
They always have events going on there, family fun days. So there's a
Food
lot
truck
to do
festival.
there. Food truck festival. Yeah. So there's a lot going on.
That one I've done a few times, just obviously attending, and I love it in theory, but it gets so crowded.
So crowded.
I hate lines. I hate lines.
I do not.
I'm not a waiter. I don't like to wait for food. I really don't. I don't know what it is. I just can't. I can't.
I don't like to stand in line. There's nothing. It's hot, and then the kids are tugging at you. And I agree with you. They do get some long lines at that event.
That one?
I haven't done that event. I tried to get in last year. It's a little on the higher end because you pay to be there.
Right.
And then you're taking a chance if the weather's not good. So I haven't done it yet, but I'm intrigued by it. I would love to do it, but they certainly have a lot of other ice cream trucks there. They have ice cream trucks and dessert trucks. So, I take that into account when I choose what events I'm doing, because you don't want to be up against so much competition that it's not profitable.
Oh,
You know,
interesting.
so they do. They'll have like a lot of other the same food trucks there. So I try not to do anything where they duplicate, you know, too much of what I have on my menu.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you went to South and you have raised your son in Oceanport. And how
Yes.
old is he?
He's 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his name is Matthew. I wanted to bring him here
I
today.
know. Hi, Matthew. We miss you.
He wouldn't miss school. He's such a good student.
Oh, I love that.
He wouldn't, but he's a tremendous help. I mean, he can practically run the truck. If he could
Wow.
drive, he could run the truck.
And he will soon.
He will. He
It'll-
will. I told him
you'll
it's going to be his
blink.
first car. He'll be pulling up as a senior in high school with the ice cream truck. But he does the ordering.
Wow.
He does inventory. He waits on the clients and he serves them, and he, you know, can help book events now. He'll
Okay.
answer the business phone, and he knows everything.
Oh, that's so
I'm really impressed.
That's very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, he's a
You're
big help. I
teaching
couldn't
him
do without him.
a lot of life lessons,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So let's backtrack a little bit. So
Okay.
you, how did you? What's your background? Did you work in hospitality?
No,
Okay.
no. Well, I mean, I was a hairdresser,
Okay.
a hairstylist for 30 years. I owned my own hair salon. I opened 360 Hair Studio when I was like 24 years old.
Wow.
So
We just had Kim
so-
on from Modern Techniques, and we were just talking about the world of hairdressing. So
how great, how great. I want to meet her. I haven't met her yet, but I know she took over the salon from Brian, who I used to work for back in the day, and he was such a great person. He was a great person. So you know, I'm sure she's been very successful in that location because he
Yeah.
did a great job building it up. So yeah, I definitely would like to cross paths with her one day.
wow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you had the salon for how many years?
Almost 30.
Wow.
Almost 30 years, yeah. So,
So
you
was
know.
that challenging, like going into it? Did you know anything about running a business when you opened it? No.
No,
Okay.
I did not.
And she talked a lot about that too. Like that first year was just like brutal in terms of, like not, knowing how to, I had gone to school. She had worked for a Gerber salon for many years,
Oh,
and
okay.
then, knew obviously was a great hairdresser, but they're two totally different things running a
Two
business.
totally different things.
Yeah.
You know how to cut hair, you know how to work with clients, but owning the business comes with so many challenges and so many disruptions. And yeah, I mean, I was very young, and my father had a business, and I remember driving in the car with him, and we had looked at the location, and nervous. I'm a kid and stuff, and I said, well, what if I do this and it fails? Like, and he's like, so what? And like I was like, yeah, so what? So what if it fails? So that kind of just pushed me to do it, and I opened it, and I had it for all of my adult life really, and then I felt like it was time to move on. I always wanted to open an ice cream store. Everybody's happy and enjoys ice cream, and you celebrate with ice cream and
Right.
everything. And after I sold the hair salon, I realized I didn't want a brick and mortar. I didn't want overhead and employees and staff and certain hours.
Were you
and-
just tired of like so for
Yeah.
me personally, I would never want to own a store because I don't like having to be in one place every single day all
Yeah.
the time. So but you must have, it didn't bother you, like, or were you just tired of it, I guess?
I guess I just got tired of it.
Yeah.
It becomes all consuming, right? Because you're in the salon, you're working with clients, you're talking to them, you're hearing their stories, you become a part of their lives, which is fantastic, right? You become very close with a lot of them, but it can be exhausting, right? And then you come home, and it's not just like I leave my scissors in my comb and I go home. Now you have to do payroll and paperwork and pay bills. So it became a lot. So I
Right.
would say later in the years I was like, what do I want to do?
Did it become more
competitive?
competitive over the years too, or not really?
Not really.
No, okay.
I found that the loyalty wasn't there as much anymore. Maybe with your staff and stylists and clients. Like maybe if another hair salon was opening down the street, they would try that. Or
Oh.
if a Groupon came out, we always had our loyals. But yeah, I just kind of felt it was time to do something different. Yeah.
That makes sense. So you purchased how does that even work? How do you go into food trucking?
So I still don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm going in my third year.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
So you buy a truck, or
You do. You just after I decided that I didn't want to own a brick and mortar and have all of that overhead and expense and responsibility. I researched and I just started like Googling stuff, and I started interviewing fabricators. They're the ones who build your truck and everything, right? So I started interviewing them and seeing who I wanted to go with, and I found a truck. I bought a Ford Transit. I knew I didn't want like a big FedEx type of truck. I didn't think I would be comfortable driving that because they're big and they're a little bulky. So I went with a smaller truck, but plenty of space, and I found a fabricator out in Pennsylvania, and I just kind of researched what did I want to do on the truck? What did I want my menu to have? What did I want to bring out into like the party community, the corporate community, and I decided on hard scooped ice cream.
Okay.
So I was originally going to do soft serve because I love, who doesn't love soft serve ice cream? Who doesn't love a vanilla chocolate swirl with rainbow sprinkles? And then that requires a lot of work and a lot of maintenance. If the machine breaks down, you don't have anything to offer. So I decided to kind of pivot my menu to hard scooped ice cream and desserts. So I researched what kind of equipment and where to buy it. So it was a process. It was like a year and a half in the making of building the truck. And then coming up with a name and everything. So it was kind of like
a year and a half to take it to build the truck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or is it because they're just so like in demand, or?
No, I would say a lot of it was me deciding like soft serve or hard, or what kind of equipment or the layout, and working with the fabricator.
And they'll just like how it would, the marketing of the actual truck,
right?
Like how it looks when you're driving.
Right, like what did I want to do? What
Right.
did I want to specialize in? I knew I just didn't want to be popsicles and that type of offerings.
Interesting.
I wanted to be a little more upscale, a little more, variety, a little more flexible since I'm not part of a franchise. I'm my own, individual ice cream truck. So I wanted to be able to make my own choices with what I do. And we pair our menu to the season. We're open year round. So in the winter we do hot chocolate and, apple cider floats and, apple pie a la mode for fall festivals.
Okay.
So we do like a lot of everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So do you go to like tree lightings and stuff sometimes?
We do.
Okay.
We do like the holiday lightings. We'll do anything.
Right.
We'll do anything. We'll do weddings, showers, any kind of event we're suitable for because, if you're having an event and you say, hey, Kathy, we want to have brownie sundaes. That's what we want that's what we'll do for you. We could do anything.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do anything.
So you took a year and a half, and then so you start the truck. And what was your? How did you market yourself? How did you get the name out there?
I do a lot of Facebook, like Moms on a Budget. Like anything family related. And just kind of if people are looking for venues for a wedding or a party, I'll list a few of my favorite menus, and then I'll say, oh, if you're thinking of adding an ice cream or dessert truck, check us out. See what we do. Give me a call. We could go over what you had in mind. What your vision is, and we could kind of focus on that. So a lot of it's word of mouth.
Wow.
I'm surprised how fast it traveled.
Wow.
Actually, yeah.
So was this during COVID that you started, or?
It was
Sort of.
right after COVID because my
Okay.
truck was still being built during COVID because I remember picking it up and, we had the masks and we had, and for the first several months we were serving with our masks on. We were on the truck and had the masks on and stuff, but, we're inside the truck.
Yeah, so
my
that
son and I are
didn't
inside the
really-
truck,
right.
right? So we weren't coming in close contact with anybody. We really didn't have to worry about it. We would say to whoever our host was, do you want us to wear a mask? So we kind of left it up to them because we're not really in contact with too many people.
I see.
Yeah.
So did you have to, source the ice cream from, how did you even know like where to go or who to get the ice cream from? Are you making any of it on your own?
No, I barely cook. I'm not. Seriously, I barely cook.
Right.
So no, I don't make my own ice cream, but I source it. I have different, different distributors, and it was all trial and error. What did we like? Because I want all high quality, delicious ice cream, big variety. We have our staples.
Okay.
Everybody loves, vanilla, chocolate. Who doesn't? Strawberry, surprisingly, not a big seller. But I just want to have quality, solid ice cream flavors and desserts.
Okay.
So did some research on that, who's best to go to. So we use a lot of Nasto's ice cream from up north. They have manufacturing up there. So, and we always get rave reviews. I mean, everybody loves our products.
Wow.
Which is fantastic. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we get called back because they said, we love that you have everything. There's something for everybody on the menu.
Right.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of birthday parties, obviously some local events, and
Yes.
you attend all of them?
I'm at every single
You're
one.
at every single one?
Every single one.
So
yes.
and then your son's at most of them as
He's
well.
at most of them, yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
great. So
He
it's the two
worked
of
with
you.
me all summer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was on the truck. He was there during school hours because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of our corporate events are obviously Monday through Friday from 9 to 5.
Okay.
So, I have some friends that I call in to help. If it's a smaller corporate event, I can handle that myself, because it's nice when I'm inside the truck and, picture it, you're at work, you're in an office all day, you get the opportunity to come out, it's a nice day, and, you're socializing. You get a chance to talk to the people that you don't necessarily see while you're sitting at your desk or in your cubicle. So, they're standing outside my truck and they're talking and they're laughing and they're, looking at the menu, and I play fun music. So it's really like an experience for them, so it's fun. It really
fun.
is.
It breaks up the day and, something that's good for team building.
Yes.
And then also you mentioned the weddings too. I think it's become like a trend where at the end of the wedding there's an ice cream truck at the end, or they do like the little mini burgers and stuff.
Oh, weddings are fun.
They are fun.
We had one, and the bride and groom didn't know we were coming.
Okay.
So the mother of the bride called me, and she was trying to figure out, it was at the Sheraton in Eatontown, and she was trying to figure out, how do we get this ice cream truck incorporated into the wedding? Because she wanted it for like part of the wedding,
Okay.
not just when the guests were leaving. So we really kind of brainstormed, and I was like, you know what? Let's do this. Talk to the DJ, have him play a conga line, and conga line from the wedding, from the dance floor, out to my truck. Then when they get out to my truck, she'll be surprised, and I'll be continuing the conga music. So the bride and groom and the whole wedding, they didn't know where they were going. So they congaed out to my truck, and we had prepackaged scoops of ice cream, what they wanted in bags and spoons, and they just formed a conga line and came out to the truck, and we handed and moved along, and everybody was taking pictures. It was really fun.
Oh, that's so
It was a really
cute.
unique, fun twist to the wedding. It was really cool.
My gosh,
Yeah, that was fun.
I love that.
Yeah, that was fun.
And do you come to schools too?
We do a lot of school events. We do fundraisers. We'll do a lot of fundraisers where if they book us and the parents and the families all want to buy from us directly, we'll give a percentage back to the PTA or whatever fundraiser they're doing. We'll give a percentage of sales back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does that work with, I know like a lot of the townships, like you have to, is it true that you have to get like a permit?
Yeah.
Even if like it's at a house party?
No, house parties not so much,
Okay.
but anytime we're doing, and we have all of the necessary documents from the health department in every town that we want to drive around in and vend in. You have to have all that, but you do spend quite a bit getting permits. I know a few people are trying to bring that all together and have one general permit, that you don't have to go to every town and apply and pay and renew every year.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I deal with that a little bit on the event side with vendors and stuff like that. But each township is different. And it just
Yeah,
varies.
everybody's different.
Yeah.
Which is good because a lot of them will do background checks or fingerprints.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic, because if you're sending your
To
your
kids, yeah.
kids out to a truck, you want to know that it's a safe environment. So
Right.
and we provide that. We always
Right.
between me and my son, I think it's clear that it's a safe place to send your kids with some $5 bill and buy something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But is it so you have the ability to? How does it work in terms of like the traditional ice cream truck that we had growing up with, like little Jimmy or all the? Can you do that, or is that a totally different license and permit to be able to drive around and offer ice cream?
You still need the permits.
Okay.
You still do need the permits and stuff.
But you could do that.
Yes.
if you
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
to.
we do. We
Oh,
do.
you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll drive around neighborhoods also.
Oh, that's
yeah.
so nice.
Yeah. Or if we're in between events, we'll like put the music on and drive around, and we could change our menu. We could change our menu on the side of the truck to fit whatever occasion. So if we're driving the streets, maybe we won't have the apple pie a la mode on there that we're doing for an event.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah, we'll drive around neighborhoods, especially in our towns, like Monmouth Beach, Little Silver, Oceanport, Fairhaven,
Right.
like Shrewsbury, like we're kind of local to those areas. So, if it's a nice day, we'll hop in the truck and just drive around and put the music on.
It's like Uber. Like if you want to turn your light on, you can just go
Just turn
out and start making
Play
money.
some music, people come out, really.
I
You
love
got to
it.
drive real slow.
Yes.
Drive real slow so they
Right.
hear you and they could get their money and run out to the truck.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, so it's fun. We do that as well.
Oh, I
We
love
do,
that.
yeah.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
do it all.
We do it all.
So how is this different? Obviously, it's much different than running the salon. But is it in terms of like your week, right? Because you used to, were you closed any of the days with the salon, like closed on Mondays?
Yeah, we
or
were closed Sundays and Mondays.
Sundays and Mondays.
Yeah.
So do you have more flexibility now with your schedule? Is there more pros to it rather, or is it just different?
It's different because we work 7 days with the truck in the summer.
Okay.
Because between the corporate events during the week and private parties and events on the weekends, so we'll do 7 days.
Okay.
And we'll work pretty late. I mean, we've been at events at midnight. But it's flexible that I could pick and choose what I want to do as opposed to, like you were saying earlier, being in one location.
Right.
From 9 to 5 or 9 to 7 with the salon. So it does offer some flexibility, but not without challenges.
Yeah.
There's definitely with any business.
Yeah.
With any business, there's challenges.
Right.
So
Are some of them weather related or?
for sure weather related.
Yeah.
We never cancel. We can scoop regardless of weather. But if, people have us booked and they want to or need to reschedule, we try and be honest with people. If it's a weather time of year, you might want to plan ahead and have a tent. Because sometimes they're not just having us. They're having maybe somebody grill or barbecue. And it's difficult to reschedule,
Right.
in the summertime, busy weekends. So weather is for sure always an issue with
Right.
anything outdoors.
Yeah.
And then like my truck has been with the mechanic for a month now.
Oh,
Yeah, I've had it needed some major work.
Well, it's good timing, I guess. Right now, it's kind of slower.
Good
right?
timing.
Yeah.
But I felt awful. I had a big event scheduled and I had to cancel because the truck wasn't done in time.
Oh my gosh.
So it was for me that's devastating, right?
And it's probably a specific mechanic you have to use, right?
Yeah, because the truck it's a bigger truck, but definitely, it's a rough time. It was a rough month. I wasn't planning on it, but it needed some major work. But like you said, this is a good time of year to do it, so I chose it. But it's taking longer than I anticipated. So,
Right.
I wasn't happy about that. But hopefully, it'll be up and running soon
Yeah.
and ready to go for the season.
And lesson learned not lesson learned. Things happen, right? You just gotta
Things happen,
roll with it. Yeah.
and better to happen now. But
Than in June.
But you don't see it coming, right? You don't see it's another thing you don't see coming, and it's like, okay, let me rework my schedule, and
Interesting.
But you always feel bad. I always feel bad if I have to, if I have to pull back on an event like I did. It's not a good feeling.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So what are your plans for 2023 in terms of growth? What are you hoping to achieve with the truck? And, do you have like a long, a 5-year plan where you maybe double trucks or?
Oh, geez. It's so funny because I think about that, though.
Yeah.
I would say our long term for this year, right now for 2023, is definitely more corporate events, more like employee building, like you said, getting the word out there for that. We love doing our birthday parties on the weekends. We love doing our private events, but we'd love to get the word out to bigger companies, and focus on that for 2023. Long term, I would love to have a second truck. Not right now.
Yeah.
It would be really difficult between family life and truck life because, I'm the only one right now who could drive the truck. But I would love to have a second truck in the future and do that.
Okay.
And focus and maybe send that to, more of the parties, and then I could focus more on the bigger events.
Okay.
Weddings and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that would be like
Yeah.
a nice balance, right?
Yeah.
To be able to
Yeah.
accomplish that. And your son, he wants to work there throughout high school, I'm assuming, with you, right?
Listen, it's an easy job.
Yeah.
Like, it's not easy in that sense, but he gets to eat all the ice cream he wants, right? I mean, he's pretty cute. So the girls come up to the truck and they like kind
Oh, my gosh.
I see them like look and point and, like come up and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but he's really responsible. And I think it's a fabulous opportunity for him. He grew up seeing me with the hair salon and the challenges and having to work and everything. And I want to pass that on to him.
Yeah.
It's not, it's you have to work.
You have to
You
work.
have to work. You have to earn, and you have to be responsible. And I tell him, you show up. Even if you don't feel well, you show up.
Yeah.
And you do
so
what you have
true.
to do.
You just have to.
Yeah.
You push through it, and it's just the way, yeah. I've always told my kids the same. My son, he was not a great student. He never liked school. It was always a challenge getting him to, to do his homework, it was always, some type of, not argument. Well, a lot of times it was argument, but it was just, it was challenging. And he did graduate, and now, he's kind of, they change a little bit, like after high school. All of a sudden, the accountability factor comes in, and they tend to surprise you with things that you wouldn't necessarily think they would get to. But when he was 14, I said, okay, if you're not going to be doing, you don't want to do sports, and then you're going to work, right? I worked when I was 14, and and he's been working at different places, mostly like delivering pizza and stuff like that. But he's always worked, and he knows, like, you have to hustle, and life is not cheap, and you just gotta keep pushing along. And if the school is not something that you want to pursue, oddly enough, he ended up signing himself up for school and going, and taking out his own loans and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
So my son will be 19 this year. My daughter is she just turned 8.
Okay.
And I have a stepdaughter who's 16 too.
Okay.
So yeah, all very different kids. But my daughter, like, she tells me, like, what to do. It's hysterical, like just the difference, how they grow up in the same house, but it's just totally different personalities.
Yeah.
But he'll be 19, and I told him, when he graduated from high school, this has been great. I don't want to do this anymore. So I don't want to have to worry about looking at the power school and the grades, and, did you hand this in and get an email from the teacher? And he's just, it was not his thing.
Okay.
But then he graduated and said, no, I want to go to school, and signed himself up for Brookdale and goes. And it's just hysterical.
That's fabulous,
it's
though,
so
right?
Funny,
Right?
So you worry and worry and worry about your kids, and then somehow they end up, like, kind of
But I love
taking
that.
care of
But I love that
themselves.
you said, like, this is, like, you're 14. What are you going to do, right? Not that you
Right.
need to know what you're going to do forever,
Right.
but 14 is a good age to
It
kind of
is.
transition them to say, listen, you have to be responsible, and you have to do this,
Yeah.
and you still have to focus on your grades. But yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love when I hear parents say that,
Yeah.
they want to teach them that too. Because there's everybody's different.
Everyone's different,
Yeah.
and not everyone's going to be a doctor, and not
No.
everyone is going to be, anything. So, certain things that you need a degree for. I'm a big proponent of, you go to school, but make sure that those dollars you're spending on school are going to get you a good paying job, because if you're going to, really anywhere, you need to make money in this world, and it's just the way that it is. You can, I'm sure, live a very humble life, and but you still have to work for it, right?
Yeah.
So I've always made sure that I've instilled that in him, and I'm hoping that obviously it pays off one day. But
Well, clearly, look at your son, right? Like,
yeah.
He did it. He pulled, he pulled
yeah,
through
no,
and he
he's
did it. Yeah.
working, and he knows that he has to save, and that when it's the party's over at the high school, and the what I mean? He wasn't really partying, but you know what I mean, like just the he's a grown up now, and you have to start thinking about your future. It's really important.
High school's so different, right? Like, if I could go back, I mean,
my
wouldn't you
gosh.
just enjoy your high school years so much more than?
I'm glad, though, that I didn't have to go through high school with, like, social media and stuff. Because that, I just feel like, is such a different, like, even my daughter now, I noticed that, like, the girls will, like, want to, they don't have phones, but they're in second grade, but they, like, still want to, now they're starting to want to FaceTime each other after school. Like, a lot of that stuff, like, you didn't carry anything over after school. It was, like, done. There was no way to, like, communicate with each other or anything. And I saw it with my son, too. When he was 9, he got a phone, but it wasn't like it wasn't a iPhone. It was like a just regular phone.
Okay,
right?
so they didn't have, right.
Yeah. And I did it mostly because, like, he would go with his grandparents on the weekends sometimes. So, like, it was a way for me to, like, communicate with him. But I also didn't know, like, what could happen in terms of, like, like in high school, like, just, the texting and the this and the that. And it makes me nervous. But we didn't know, because he was really the first generation of kids that were, like, in, getting on social media at, like, certain ages, and, all of the stuff that you can do on on iPhones and everything. So there's like a lot of stuff that happens.
It's
and,
relentless.
Yeah.
It can be.
I should actually have someone on to talk about that, about like just the dangers of what can happen in high school, and like just I hear stories all the time
It's
about
awful.
people. Yeah.
It's awful. I'm lucky. My son. I think boys are a little bit different.
They
I would
are.
like to think, right?
Yeah,
Than girls.
A lot of the girls, like
Yeah.
they cause trouble.
I tell my son, I said, thank God I'm a boy
Yeah.
mom, because if I
Yes.
was a girl mom, I don't think I would be good. I don't think I would be good. Like, I
Yeah.
love having a boy, right?
Right.
They, you have a son, like, they'll have an issue and then they're over it.
It's just done.
And I'm like, how are you over it already?
Yeah.
I would have been dwelling on this.
I know.
And he's over it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have social media either, so.
My son's always like, stop asking me. 'Cause I'm relentless. I'll be like, are you okay? Are you fine? He's like, oh my God, I hate this. Would you just so drive him crazy.
I'm the same way, but
Yeah.
but like, because but yeah, I'm glad I didn't have social media. It's a totally different animal right
Yeah.
now. And listen, at my age, and I hate to say that, at my age, I don't even know how to work Instagram sometimes. I'm calling my sister. I'm like, how do you post a reel? How do you, like, and it's so
Right.
important for my business, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's what the kids are good for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
On
like, I don't know what to
TikTok,
do.
too. I'm not even on TikTok yet, and like everyone keeps telling me I have to be on it, but like I need to have like my son or someone show me how to
I'm
use
too
it.
nervous. I can't do that. I
know.
can't do that.
Yeah.
If I can't sleep at night, I'm trying to post something. I'm like, I don't know what to do. You got to do hashtags. You have to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
It's like beyond me. But you have to.
You
have to.
to.
But the social media for kids is just.
Yeah.
It really is awful. It
Yeah.
really is. And I'm glad my son isn't on Facebook or any. He doesn't even ask, which is
Oh,
good. He
good.
doesn't even ask.
Yeah.
Which is good. I'm
I already
happy for
have
that.
my daughter. Well, she doesn't really ask about social media, but she has asked for her phone, and I was like, yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, no, not happening. Not anytime soon. You don't need it. You'll hate it one day, I promise.
No, but I love the idea of having somebody on to talk about the repercussions of that, right? Because kids
Yeah.
think nothing of
They
maybe
don't
taking a
and
selfie or
they don't realize that
It's forever.
they could change the course of their lives by all kinds of different things that
right.
happen.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of parents probably are unaware of like what can happen, and what, like, it's just and the bullying and just all of it. It's terrible. So there's obviously a lot of benefits to social media and the internet, and we've
Yes.
we've all I have a business that thrives with that.
Yeah, you're all over social media.
But at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that I think parents and children, need to be taught. And I think a lot of the schools too are doing more, informative sessions to parents and stuff like that. But it's definitely an important topic, because I think
Yeah.
it's just,
I agree. My son's school was actually having something. I couldn't make it last week, but they had somebody there for the parents to talk about, to let you know that if you're the parent who says, oh, I'm going to have all the kids at my house
Right.
and let them drink because I know they're here at my house,
right.
that there's, there could be some fallout from that.
Yeah. You can't do
And-
that anymore.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
But they
anymore.
do.
I mean, I grew up. I remember, like, it was, it was a thing, and my parents probably have said the same thing. That things were different back then, but
Yeah.
now things are really different.
Really different.
And you could lose your house.
Yeah.
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 No, I won't be doing that.
Yeah, so I'm not doing that. So, but they had somebody there, and I'm like, oh, I missed it, because I wanted to see. I wanted to
Right.
be able to take that information home to my son and say, listen, when you're at a party,
Right.
right? Because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
9th grade, high school. When you're at a party, be aware. Be
Right.
aware of your surroundings. Know that this is what's going to happen,
Yes.
and kind of get out. Get out gracefully.
Yeah.
Shoot me a text message. Whatever you need.
Right. I will always come get you. But
Yeah.
I
I'll always
know.
come get you.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
You're right.
No, there's so, oh God, the teen
I know.
years. I've already got one through, but I have
Stressful.
more to go.
So stressful.
I have more to go. I always say, like, the glory years of parenthood are ages 6 to 9. Because 6,
I miss those years.
because they're not babies anymore. They can still, like, tie their own shoes. They can, take their own showers and stuff like that. But they're not like teens yet, and they're just like they want to be with you a lot.
I know.
But your son sounds great.
He's now that we said all that, right? Listen, he's fat, and I say this. I couldn't do it without him, and I wouldn't have thought that. I have to be honest with you. When I did this, I'm like, this is great. I could do this by myself, and you want to think that you could do it, right?
Right.
Especially coming off owning a business for so many years, right?
Right.
But I have to say, like, I have found that like, you need that support system, right? Like, I have, my mother's very supportive, and my friends are so supportive, right?
Right.
But my son has really turned out to be a surprise necessity
Wow.
for me.
And he enjoys it, obviously.
He does enjoy it. I mean, listen, that's not to say after a long, hot day in August when we're on the truck and, maybe we're running a little bit late or, something, we're not like a little at each other, but we always come back around. And I said to him, this is part of it. You're going to have a boss one day that maybe, maybe there's the conflict with, right? And you have to resolve it and move past. And so yeah, I mean, he learns a lot from it for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so nice. So when you are not on the truck,
Okay.
what do you guys like to do? Is there anything that he's involved in, or anything in Monmouth County that you like to go to when you're not working? I know you're working like almost
Right.
every day.
Right. Well, in the winter we spend more time going out. Like we do have one of our favorite restaurants is Takora for
Okay.
their sushi. We love it there.
Oh, I don't know that one.
We
Is
did
that
take
in
out.
Oceanport, or?
It's in Tinton Falls.
Okay.
It's near. Are you familiar with Tinton Falls at all?
Yeah.
So there's the Americana Diner right on Highway 35.
Yeah.
It's behind there.
Oh, like where the gym is.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So they're there. So we did a lot of takeout from them during the pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah, they were really great for that.
Okay.
So we'll go there and they have the hibachi and we'll do, we'll
yeah.
spend time there. And he's really involved with basketball right now. So, that takes a lot of time up, driving to practice, driving to games and everything. And we spend time when we can with our friends. I have a lot of the same mom friends that he grew up with. So we'll do that. We'll spend time with them and he'll hang out with his buddies and stuff. So we like to do that.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what do you like to do when you're don't have your mom hat on? Do you have any restaurants that you like to go out to?
With my friends, we like to go into Red Bank occasionally. We like Robinson's Ale House.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been there?
Yeah.
They have really good food.
Yeah.
And I didn't know they had one in Pure Village.
Yeah, I did not know that either until I was there last week for a photo shoot, and I hadn't been down to Pure Village in ages. There's a lot happening down. There's a lot more than there was. Some new restaurants and new shops and stuff. They have that ice cream, the Baked Bear, I think it's called. So I want to try that out.
I haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
I haven't been, but he has a food truck. So
Oh, really?
I haven't been there yet because that's down at the other end. But I just went to Robinson's Ale House the other day. I met some friends there. We had lunch. But I didn't even know it was there. I didn't realize they had another location.
Yeah.
I tend to stay clear of there in the summertime. It's really.
Yeah, me too. I think that's why
yeah.
I didn't know, because it's like it gets. again, I hate the lines and I hate
Yeah.
waiting. So,
You and I would be like, get out of our way,
Yeah.
let us through.
I like quiet. Like we go to Seagirt when we go to the beach, or even Spring Lake a little bit, and we
Okay.
just usually we'll go early so we can get parking. We'll get like lunch at Parker House and just
I
it's
haven't
just
been there
easy
forever.
and like a nice day. Like if we're gonna go out, like our lives are so, like for me, like my life is usually pure chaos all the time. We're working nonstop, this, that, running around, whose birthday is this week, all the stuff, right? So like, I don't know, if we're gonna go have an enjoyable day like that, is like mayhem is not my idea.
No, I'm all about. It's so funny because I spent my career talking. Right, that's what I did. I talked for while I'm doing your hair and I'm hearing stories and I'm talking.
Right.
And even with this, right? But I'm talking. But I really surprisingly like to be quiet.
Yes.
Believe it or not, like at the end of the day, when I get Matthew, like it's like okay, go to sleep. Like I enjoy Netflix. I enjoy.
Oh, me too. I love it. I never used to be, but as I've gotten older, it's the amount of shows that I watch. I watch a lot of shows mostly. I've never watched so much TV in my life is because I'm most of the time at my laptop working. Right?
Okay,
I'm writing editorial content. I'm putting up banner ads. I'm, connecting with, Zoom meetings and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm answering emails. So a lot of it is like, I love what I do, but it's not my favorite thing to do in terms of being like chained to somewhere, right?
Okay.
But because I've grown so much and stuff, it's just the nature of the beast where I'm constantly needing to type more and write more and all of these things, right? So that part I don't love. My background is in sales, and I sold wine for almost a decade.
Really?
So, yeah. So and then before that I managed restaurants. So I spent a lot of time like in the hospitality world. But I was always, if I wasn't working at a restaurant for a long time, I traveled like all over the place, mostly in the tri-state area. But like driving to Bottle King and ShopRite, anywhere that was like I had a lot of like chain wine and spirits,
that's interesting.
Whole Foods, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was always somewhere different. I know every town in New Jersey based on like where the liquor store was, because that's like they were all my accounts.
I have some friends who know that too.
Yeah. So I'd wake up and it was like 9 o'clock. It was like me, other salespeople, and then people that were like online to get booze for the morning, which is a very weird way to start your day. But it was fun, and it was a great experience. I love doing it.
Right.
So now it's different. I love obviously doing the podcast, and I do have in-person meetings sometimes. But for the most part, I'm always at my desk. So I pass the time with like kind of half watching like shows.
Right, it's on in the background.
It's on in the background.
Right.
So I've been through like everything. I've watched so many shows. It's insane.
But it's so
But
funny,
I started
right?
reading at night now because I'm like so embarrassed about how much TV I watch.
it's so, because I'll say, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do laundry. I don't have time to do this.
Yeah.
But yet I have like 3 hours every night to binge watch
Virgin
something,
River
right?
or
Yeah. I'm
whatever.
like, oh my gosh, did I really just spend, it's 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
I mean, really, I'm
Yeah.
like, Ozark. I mean, I stayed up. I literally watched the sun go down and come back up while I was watching Ozark. I was
gotta
addicted.
Get into that.
I was
Everyone
addicted.
says it, and I've tried it a few times, and I don't know why I can't get into it.
Oh, I can't, oh, you have to. You have to. I mean, Jason Bateman in anything, number
Yeah,
one. I mean,
I
he's
know.
just phenomenal. But
Yes.
I was addicted. I have to say, I thought I had a
So good.
problem.
You know what I watched recently that was very good, and like I needed another subscription, like a hole in the head. But I have so many. I'm now all the streaming. We cut the cord, and I'm like, oh, I'm saving all this money. This is like 2 years ago. Now I have like 70 subscriptions. So I.
Kate, oh my
Not
gosh.
really, but a lot.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So many. So I don't think I'm saving money anymore. But I just got Apple TV because I saw something. I was like, oh, I'll get the trial, whatever. So now I have Apple TV on top of every other subscription. So I watched We Crashed, and it's about the story of WeWork. So WeWork was like, well, it is a workspace company that like grew like globally. So it's the story of the person who started it. And
It's true. It's a true.
true
Okay.
story.
Okay.
So interesting. And who played the? She's gonna. Her name. Jared Leto plays the husband, and the wife is very famous that I can't remember her name.
I don't know.
She was Princess Diaries.
Gwyneth Paltrow?
No, but actually, she's a referenced in that show. Anne Hathaway. Thank you.
Oh, Anne Hathaway. Okay.
Yes, and really, really great show. So I highly recommend that one. We Crashed, it's called.
And it's on Apple TV?
It's on Apple TV if you have it.
See, you did that. I'm trying to put off signing up for like the Paramount and the Hulu
It's
and
ridiculous.
Showtime. I started watching Your Honor on Showtime. I used to have it.
That's on Apple TV
Bryan
too.
Cranston. That's on Showtime.
Okay.
No, not Showtime. I don't even know. Yeah, Showtime, I think it's on.
Okay. I think they have some Showtime stuff on Apple TV.
Oh, they do?
Thank God,
Because
I
now
don't
I have to
watch
see part 2. So now I'm like, I have to do what you did. I'm like, I got to do the 30-day trial. But then you know what happens. And then it just renews on my credit card. And then I'm going to have it. And I'll have another subscription. But
I know.
Yeah, how do we find this time for all these shows?
How do you find the time to cancel the subscription? That's the biggest part.
I know.
There's an app evidently that does it. I don't know. I got to look into it. One day I got to commit time to like just look at all the charges that come through.
But it becomes addictive, right?
does.
So yeah, I mean, on my downtime, I have to say, like,
Mm-hmm.
I used to really enjoy talking on the phone to my friends and catching up, but now I'm like, I think I just want to be quiet.
Yeah.
I think I just want to have some downtime
It
before I
is
start all
nice.
over again.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You're working hard, and you need time to like just be right and enjoy what you're working hard for.
And you have to be on, right? You're
All the
look,
time.
you do podcasts, right? So maybe you don't feel so well one day, or maybe you had a rough morning.
Yep.
But you still have to come in and you have to, smile and have a great conversation.
Yep.
Which you're fabulous at.
Thank you.
So, but sometimes it's, it could be a little exhausting.
Oh yeah.
To do that, right?
anything, anything,
Yeah.
when you're putting, energy
Right, when you
into
show
it.
up and
Yeah.
everything,
So.
So it's nice to have a little downtime too.
I
But
agree.
Monmouth County has so much to offer. There is something going on this weekend I really want to get to.
Okay.
I really want to try. It's called New Egypt Flea Market.
Oh yeah.
Do you follow them?
So the only reason I know about anything happening in Monmouth County is because of what I do with Monmouth Mom. So I'm always adding
Okay.
events to the calendar.
All right.
So they do stuff throughout the year, but I've never been there. It's
Have
like
you-
in like
okay.
Cream Ridge.
Yeah, Cream Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize how close Cream Ridge really was because last year we did. Have you been to the Tulip Festival, the Holland Ridge?
Holland Ridge. I have not been there either.
Okay.
I haven't been
Can I tell you?
anywhere.
So I went one time as a visitor, right? And
Okay.
you go there and you pick tulips, and it's just a nice afternoon. You bring the kids, family, whatever. It's just a nice afternoon to walk around. You get some lunch. But last year they invited me to bring my ice cream truck.
Okay.
So best day ever goes there, and we spend the afternoon there, and what a fabulous day. I mean, they had food trucks everywhere, and we met so many nice people, and it was such a great event. We love doing those. We love doing those big festivals, and people will go get their food, and then they come up to us and finish it off with some ice cream or dessert, or we just started introducing frozen hot chocolate shakes, which are
Ooh.
amazing.
It's like
amazing.
serendipity.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
like that with the hot chocolate.
I
And,
haven't been there either. Have you?
no, I haven't been there.
Okay.
And but the New Egypt Flea Market, I tried to get in there with my truck, but they were booked. But that's this weekend, so that I really want to try and do. But
Okay.
yeah.
That's exciting. Yeah, I would like to get there soon too. I think they do stuff like.
Oh, if you ever broadcast from there, I'll go with you. We'll
Okay.
go and we'll like check it out. We'll like interview people.
Yeah,
But
that'd
that
be
looks like a
fun.
really cool thing.
It does. They're
Yeah.
doing like a fire and ice thing.
Fire and ice.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it. Yeah. They do things throughout the year, so I do definitely need to check that out. That and someone else does a lot of different things. Well, Alair Village I've been to, but they do food truck stuff too. I
They
think,
do.
right?
They do food truck
Occasionally.
stuff.
Yeah.
We have on Father's Day, we just got invited to Long Branch by, Rooney's restaurant. So there was an area, a grassy area between Rooney's and the hotel. So on Father's Day, they have a car show there, and they're having over 300 cars there.
Ah.
And we're going to be the exclusive ice cream and dessert truck there.
Ooh.
They'll have a food truck, but we'll be there Father's Day on that Sunday.
Okay.
So we'll be there with that. So we're really looking forward to that. We love when people hear about us, and that's they come and they solicit us and they say, we saw your truck or at an event and we want to have you. So we're getting a lot of that now. We're getting a lot of phone calls from towns saying, like we'll be hopefully at Holland Ridge again in the summer. So we're doing a lot of those weekend festivals, and we love those. In Monmouth County, they're fun. We always love Ocean Township. Always has their firework festival. They have us at, and that's always fun. If you haven't been to that,
Okay.
that's a really fun 4th of July celebration that they have there.
Oh, I do have
Yeah.
to check that out. That's definitely something I'm
Like
gonna add to the
anything
list.
that's going on in Monmouth County that has like our trucks, you'll see on our Instagram page where we'll be. So any of those things that we do, we always choose wisely and always fun. So if you
Oh.
could ever show up at any of those with with your daughter, they're just they're
Yeah.
fun events to go to.
What about at Monmouth University? Did they do any food truck things?
Oh, so if Monmouth University is listening to you,
Yeah.
I really want to get on their campus.
Oh.
I would love to get on their campus for their students, right?
Yeah.
Because when they're walking back and forth, or their staff, like in the wintertime right now, we could be there with our hot chocolate and warm cider,
Yeah.
and sell to them directly, or even they could have us on. But I would love to get in Monmouth University.
I think they used to do events before COVID. I haven't seen many things come out since then, but I'll have to keep an eye on that because it's a beautiful campus.
It
There's
is,
a lot
right?
that they could do there. So.
And it's so local.
Yeah.
We are going to do a wedding show there.
Oh.
I think in 2 months. I don't know the exact date yet, but we'll post it. They're having, a bridal show there, so everybody goes there, and they can meet different caterers and events. So we're going to be at that.
Oh,
We're going to be at
interesting.
that, like giving out samples and, talking to the brides or whoever wants to have an event, what we could do to customize for their wedding and their special day.
Okay.
Yeah, so that should be fun.
I love
But Monmouth
that.
University is a beautiful campus.
It is, yeah. I had a
Yeah.
meeting there last year, but yeah, really nice. I'd like to learn more about what they're doing over there. So
Oh, yeah, fill me in if you find
I
out.
will. So where can everyone find you?
So everybody could find us on Instagram and Facebook. Best Day Ever Ice Cream Truck. We have a website, which I need to update and work on. Not good at that. But you could find us all on social media. Anywhere and any event that anybody wants to have us at, just give us a call. We'll work with anybody and do anything. Nothing is too big for us.
Okay.
We can handle it. And we're very flexible. We'll work early, we'll work late, but definitely Facebook and Instagram. I always refer people to that because they could see our truck, they could see our product, they could see our pictures.
Right.
They could see how much fun people are having at our events. So that's really the best place to find us is Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Best Day Ever Ice Cream Truck.
Best Day Ever Ice Cream Truck. It's a pretty blue truck.
And will you go to other parts of New Jersey, or do you really stay in like Monmouth and Ocean County?
We try and focus Monmouth and Ocean County. If we go too far out, it takes us away from maybe other things that we could fit in our schedule.
Gotcha.
We'll go like an hour and a half out, but
Okay.
that's pretty much our range.
Okay.
But Best Day Ever Ice Cream Truck, you can't miss us. It's just a really pretty looking, friendly truck. It
Okay.
really is. And our menu is just everything from root beer floats to ice cream cake. That's one of our specialties.
Ooh.
Our individual slices of ice cream cake that we can
Okay.
customize.
Oh.
So we just have, we're a nut-free truck. I should mention that.
Okay.
That's very important. My son has a nut allergy,
Oh.
so we're a nut-free truck. So, families could feel confident coming up and knowing that there's no allergens or anything
Okay.
that they have to worry about.
Oh, great to
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
gosh,
It
thanks
was
for having
so
me.
much fun listening about your journey and how
Thank you.
you have started this business with your son. I think that's so great. I hope to meet him one day. I hope to see you at some festivals this year.
You
So
will. I would love to.
Very excited to work with you and learn more. So
Thank you for having me. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.